welcome to Today in Woburn. I'm your host, Samantha Stone. We've got lots of fabulous people on today's show. We're going to talk about things happening across the city and how you can get engaged. And first up, as always, Mayor Concannon. We're going to catch up on things happening here in the city side. Welcome.
Hi, Samantha. How you doing?
I told Diane earlier today, I'm a little sore. Mike, apparently there's a lot of muscles that I don't use on a regular basis. In addition to apple picking, I helped my husband begin to rebuild the floor of our porch. And while I didn't think I did any terribly difficult physical things, he did the hardest of it. Apparently, I used some muscles for the first time in a while.
I had one of those weekends too. I'm feeling it this morning. Definitely.
What were you working on?
Well, on Friday, I had the chance to get out of the office and golf at the Woburn Fire golf tournament, which was a lot of fun, even though we weren't very good. Um,
It was all for good spirits.
yeah, people ask, how'd you hit them? My answer is often. We hit the ball a lot on Friday, which if you don't understand golf, I can tell you hitting it a lot is not a good thing. The goal is to hit it seldom. But anyway, we had a lot of fun. The weather was beautiful. Course was great. The camaraderie was great. We had a lot of fun. But again, using muscles, I don't use all that much. I don't get to golf as much as I'd like to. And then Friday night, I had a pretty cool experience. I got to go to a retirement party for a friend of mine, a Woburn guy, State Trooper Jay McCarthy, who I knew when he was a little kid, coaching him in basketball, and very proud of him when he got on the job. And he had a tremendous career with the state police, and he's already retiring, which I take from
Didn't
that.
make you feel old at all, right?
I'm pretty old, yeah, but it was nice to be able to catch up with some people I haven't seen in a while and to be able to give Jay my best wishes on a well-deserved retirement. So that was fun. And then I spent the bulk of the weekend finishing up my granddaughter's baby room at our house, finally, and running back and forth from the room to the TV to see how the Ryder Cup was going. That was pretty much my weekend. I did have a couple of brief visits with a couple of the kids, that was nice, but it was pretty much baby's room and Ryder Cup. That was my weekend.
Hey, those are two very special things. I
Yeah.
think that's fantastic. And I'm sure that you can't wait to see the baby in the new room that you
Yeah,
guys.
it'll be fun. It seems like just yesterday those rooms held our own little babies, but yeah, it's going to be fun. We've got it all set up, and can't wait to have her do her first sleepover and enjoy the room.
I think that's so fantastic. And, just to talk about one of your babies, she's settling well in London where she's going to school.
Yes, my own little baby girl who's 20 is studying abroad for the semester in London. She's doing great. We FaceTimed her last night for probably an hour and a half. She's doing great. She's settling in. She's traveling. She's having a blast. And we get to go see her next week, which will be nice. I can't wait to see her.
That's fantastic. We can't wait to see pictures when you get back.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
It'll be fun. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit. We'll both take a hot shower and, rest those muscles over the next couple of days, I'm sure. But we are doing some important work that there's some things happening tonight. And that is that we as a city are going to be hiring a new deputy superintendent. And I know prior to working in the city, I didn't always really know how the hiring process worked. And this is an important position. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity for you to just share with the community how we select someone for that important job.
Sure. So between the city charter and the ordinances that have been passed since that all comprise the rules of the road for city government, it specifies which positions are hired by which entities. I am the appointing authority for the police chief and the fire chief and the superintendent of the DPW. But the charter and the ordinances also specify that some other positions are appointed by either the city council or a particular board or commission, like the rec commission. They appoint the rec director. Board of Health appoints the agent. So in this instance, the deputy superintendent of the DPW is appointed by the city council. So tonight, the city council is interviewing the three candidates that were recommended to them by a subgroup, which was personnel committee and the HR director, and the superintendent of the DPW. So they're going to be interviewing those three candidates tonight. Interested to see how that goes. It's just one of those things where the charter and the ordinances divide some of the authority to a point. I think it's based on the concept of checks and balances. So this one is not my appointment. I'm just a spectator, but obviously an interested spectator because I'll be working with this person on a daily basis. So I'm going to get on and watch those interviews, and I'm sure the council will select the person that's best suited, and we'll do the best job for the city.
Excellent. We're about a quarter through the year, through the fiscal year, I should say. I know calendar and fiscal year are a little bit different. We start our fiscal year July 1st. And so thought I would just do a quick check-in from a budget perspective. Obviously, there's been routine operations and things, but there's always good, healthy checks and balances, as you just mentioned. Kind of let us know where we are against our plan.
Yeah, so about a quarter of the way through, we are on track. No surprises yet. That's me knocking wood. As you know, and I think I've mentioned it before to the audience, that in addition to the annual budget cycle, we also review things on a quarterly basis, but we also dig down deeper. Once a month, we meet with each of the four major departments: police, fire, DPW, and schools, in the process that we call WUSTAT, where we basically touch base with each of those major departments once a month and see where they stand at this time of the fiscal year. 1 month in, 2 months in, 3 months in. Where are we tracking? Are the line items as we would have expected? Are there surprises cropping up? Is there a need to revisit the way we've carved out and created the budget? So we've had a few of those sessions already this fiscal year, July and August and September. So far, we're tracking well. Each of the departments is on top of their own individual budgets. And the WUSTAT meetings give us an opportunity to touch base, see where we're at, see if there's anything brewing that we need to be aware of, anything we can react to quickly. And at those WUSTAT meetings, we invite not only the major departments there with their department heads and staff, we invite members of the city council and school committee to join us so they can see firsthand what it is we're talking about. And we appreciate the cooperation of all the departments. Again, those are the major cost centers. In addition to that, I meet every week with the auditor, where we keep abreast of anything week to week. And every 2 weeks, I meet with the financial team, consisting of the auditor, the assessor, and the treasurer collector. Again, all with the idea to make sure we're on top of things and there's no surprises bubbling up that we're not aware of.
Excellent. Thank you for that check-in on that. One of the things for folks who are watching, in addition to all of financial due diligence that happens in WUSTAT, it's also where we get the data that feeds our city services dashboard.
Yeah, that's the other half of it. Yeah. So WUSTAT is two pieces. The first is the financial, and the second is more of a performance metrics exercise. We try to identify the things that matter most to each of the departments, and of course matter most to the residents. The measurements and the metrics that tell us how good we're doing or where we need to improve. So we focus on those with each of those departments as well. Police and fire, we talk about things like response time and which sectors of the city are busiest, what's drawing the most resources. Are we, applying the resources appropriately? DPW, kind of the same thing. How quickly are we responding to report of concerns listed from residents? It's just kind of a way to make sure that we're checking ourselves to make sure we're meeting the needs of the residents. And that changes, as you can expect, frequently. Some things are a focus for a little while, then something else bubbles up and it becomes the focus. So we try to react to that and make sure we're measuring our performance against expectations. And we're working on the same with the school department as well.
Excellent. I'm going to ask you to take your mayor hat off for a second. I don't do this very often. I'm going to ask you to wear your Lions hat for a minute. We have, and I know it's a special place for you personally, Lions Park within the body of Horn Pond, kind of in the
Yep.
center there. And it is an amazing spot, but it's also somewhat difficult for people who might have mobility challenges to get there. And I
Yeah.
was really impressed with a recent offering that the Lions Club is to help people get transported. And I thought it would be great to just talk a little bit about that gift
Yeah.
that you're giving to the community.
And the Lions Club, we're very proud of Lions Park and the collaboration with the city to make it happen 22 years ago or
Right.
so. And it's been going strong ever since. The Lions Club has basically adopted the area to maintain it. We have the cooperation of the DPW and the Parks Department and the Country Club on occasion. So it's, I refer to it as the crown jewel of Horn Pond, and I view Horn Pond as the crown jewel of the city. So this very, very special place um, is about halfway around the pond, so that can present some issues that maybe would prevent somebody from being able to enjoy it if they have some mobility issues. So the Lions Club, by way of a grant from the Cummings Foundation, was able to purchase kind of like an extended golf cart, a mini transport vehicle that can navigate all the way to the back and of Hunt Pond and get to Lions Park. So they've embarked on a program where for at least a trial run, they're going to try to identify a couple of hours each day to have a volunteer, a member of the Lions Club, drive the vehicle and be available to meet folks in the parking lot and bring them in so they can see Lions Park and check out the entire pond area and then bring them back to their car. It's all voluntary and it's probably going to be demand driven. So right now they're working on identifying that maybe a couple of hour window each day that a volunteer will be available, and then there'll be information available on the Lions website, which I wrote down. It's woburnhostlions.com. And there's actually an email address they're working on if you wanted to schedule an appointment to meet a lion down there and get a ride in. It's garden at woburnhostlions.com. And the reason it's garden is one of the most recent upgrades to Lions Park was the addition of a sensory garden, again, funded through a Cummings grant. And it was one of the things we did to try to make sure that everybody could enjoy the area to the very best. So there are all of the senses are represented in the park. There's smell, sound, touch, taste, not taste. Well, I guess there is taste. There's berries, feel. Um, Trying to appeal to everybody. When we built the park at first, it was a tremendous improvement. It was an upgrade to the area. It was awesome. But we always knew that we could be more accessible. And thanks to that Cummings grant, we were able to add the sensory garden, that's the email address. And again, thanks to a Cummings grant, we were able to buy this extended golf cart to be even more accessible. So, we want everybody to enjoy Lions Park, and this is just a step in furtherance of that goal.
Well, thank you for that update. And I really am really happy that the Lions Club has this. For the 9/11 ceremony, we did have some folks use that transportation. It was comfortable and easy, and they were really appreciative of it. So I'm sure it'll get good use.
I'm sure it will.
Excellent. Next up, City Councilor Viola. Welcome, Chuck.
Hey, Samantha, thanks for having me.
I really appreciate you being here today. We're going to talk about one of our favorite conservation spots, but that isn't as well visited and known as Horn Pond, of course, but is
Right.
equally important to the city in terms of its nature preserve and such. And that's over at Shaker Glen.
Correct.
And because
Yep.
it's not as an area that has the same kind of trail systems and things, fewer people know how to access it. We have a cleanup coming. Remind us where you can access Shaker Glen.
Yep. So you can access Shaker Glen from a couple places. There is a condo complex up on Lexington Street that you can actually go into the Shaker Glen through there. There's 3 parking spots that are available that people can use, but also you can access it through down the Four Corners, behind where Citizens Bank is, McDonald's, that area.
And that behind McDonald's there, that area is typically where the cleanup crew meet for the cleanup, correct?
Correct. Yep. So the address, if somebody was to use it, we would meet around 6 Russell Street. So that's the address that we associate with the Shaker Glen cleanup area.
Excellent. And so you've got a cleanup scheduled. We're hoping for a whole bunch of volunteers. It's a big area. Tell us the day and time that people should meet there.
Yep. So Saturday, October 4th. So this Saturday from 12 to 3, we're going to have a cleanup down there. And also, if it rains, which we're hoping it's not, the rain date would be the next day, Sunday, October 5th.
Fantastic. I'm sorry to miss it. I'm actually going to be out of town this weekend. There's a lot going on in the city, but I'm excited to see the hard work. It's always fun to see the pictures of what gets collected. Typically on cleanups like this, volunteers pick up lots of things and then they leave it in as a designated spot and DPW comes and disposes of it. What is maybe an unusual find that we've gotten in past cleanups?
Well, we've pulled out probably close to 1,000 beer cans out of there over the past collection that we did. But besides that, there's been tents. I believe we've found bicycles, tires, just pretty much the same stuff that you'd find anywhere else that people dump, TVs. So if somebody tries to get rid of something, they're just dumping it off, unfortunately.
Yeah, but we are lucky. We have a whole bunch of people who come help do this, which I appreciate. Anything else that you'd like folks to know who might be interested in supporting the cleanup this weekend?
Sure. If they'd like to get in touch with me, they can either get in touch with me on Facebook. They could call me 781-935-4417. Email me cviola@cityofwoburn.com with any questions. If not, I'll see them down there Saturday between 12 and 3 and hope we get a huge crowd out there to clean up the Shaker Glen.
I love it. And as a reminder, if memory serves, usually for this cleanups, there will be bags and gloves and things, but is there anything people should be bringing with them?
Nope, they could just come themselves. Also, we'll be signing off on Yes Hours for kids in high school as well for volunteer hours. And this is also put on by the Mystic River Watershed and the Friends of Horn Pond as well. So
fantastic. Really excited to see all the hard work that happens. And this is really suitable for people of all ages. You can come and do a little bit of an area if you don't want to be on your feet for a long amount of time. Kids can really get into it. Adults, I've seen one of the things I like about these cleanups is it attracts people of all different backgrounds and ages to come together and do something good for the community.
absolutely.
Fantastic. Next up, welcome Sam.
Hi, Samantha. It's very
It's-
nice to be here.
It's wonderful to have you here. You're going to be part of a very special Sharing Our Stories series panel event that's coming up. And I'm really eager to learn a little bit more about how you went from India and made Woburn home. Tell us a little bit about your path to get here.
Yeah, for sure. I'll keep it as short as possible, but it has been I think any family in India who has a very high degree of educational background, my family has been a family of clinicians. I already knew that sort of my path was going to be in academia, in research. So from a very young age, I sort of really carved out every opportunity I could from a very young age, with, of course, my family's support, and really pursued the footsteps of my parents, but not really as a clinician. I say to them that, hey, I want to be a doctor, but as a doctorate. I want to do more basic science and research to really develop the drugs that you guys prescribe to the patients. So that's how my journey started, where I just started looking for exchange opportunities, started venturing into the Midwest out of, every place in America in 2012, and then applied to a PhD program in Dallas, Texas. Met my husband in Dallas. I like to make fun of him, saying that he's a Texan but not a cowboy. He does not own any boots or any hat. But he's my soulmate. I don't know how a suburban Indian girl met a Texan boy and hopefully happily lived ever after. But yeah, and then, Boston is one of the prime cities for pursuing biomedical career. So that was one of my major to really get the support of my husband, and he was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's move out of Texas. Let's charter into Boston and see what your career holds. And then we actually started living in Assembly Square. for 1 year and then started really getting to know the layout of the land. We definitely loved north more than the south of Cambridge, Boston, whatever, the geography is. And then was very lucky to have a very, very nice real estate agent who genuinely helped without, the perks of business that is associated with real estate. And Woburn has really good Indian food.
It
So,
does. It does
it
indeed.
has it has the highest rated Indian restaurant called Godavari, actually in one of the Cummings park, or the Cummings shopping malls. So yeah, that's how we are in Woburn. We have an amazing neighbor. She actually knows Samantha. Her name is Lisa Weinberg. They're the Weinbergs. So yeah, we are very lucky that we just was at the right time, at the right place, with the right set of people, and Woburn is home.
Well, I love that. One of the things that I know these series hopes to do is to help people and neighborhoods come together and get to know each other. So I just want to ask you, what was something that one of your neighbors did, or you wish one of your neighbors did, when you first moved to Woburn to help you really make Woburn home?
Yeah, I think the Chris, who is from Know Your Neighbor, who is actually hosting this series as well, asked me this question as well, and I wanted to say that I think it's just a good citizen, how another person should be respecting and behaving with another person is what I think I and my husband or my family really looked out for. And I think it was just like, if I'm putting out my hand, are you also putting out your hand to, make a new friendship, to at least get to know each other? And I think that's exactly what they did. They, came up. And were like just curious, who are you? Can we start talking? Can we be friends in the future? And now it's, like our kids run across the backyard, so without even letting us know.
It's nice to have neighbors whose kids play together and
Yes.
treat each other. We also raised our children in a great neighborhood with some wonderful families, so I know how special that can be. Now, this will be a panel discussion. There'll be two other guests joining you. Where are the other guests from?
Yes, so we have an amazing lineup of speakers. I'm sorry, I'm actually wanting to make sure that I have the names correct. So if I'm not looking at the camera directly, it's going to be Miss Maria Teresa Nagel from Costa Rica, Nicaragua, and Mr. Mehmet Dogan from Turkey, and myself representing, my background from India.
Fantastic. Well, I look forward to it. Studio Cafe is always a really comfy spot to get together and meet new people and chat about each other's backgrounds and learn from each other. Remind our audience the day and time for the Sharing Our Stories event.
Absolutely. So it's going to be the 8th of October on Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Studio Cafe, located at 327 Main Street in Woburn Center.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And next up, we have a wonderful team from SEI. Nicole, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Samantha. Thank you for having us. So I'm Nicole, the program manager for Social Capital Inc., and I'm joined here by some guests. They are our Leaders for Everyone's Tomorrow interns. They're our youth interns. And so I will let you guys introduce yourselves if you could share your name and what grade you're in.
Right. Okay, so I'm Jamari. I'm in 12th grade and I go to Woburn High School.
I also go to Woburn High School. My name is Ryan, and I'm also in 12th grade.
Excellent. Well, we are very lucky to have folks who care about our community and our schools, and glad to have you join us. It's kind of hard to believe that fall is here, given the weather this past weekend. It was absolutely stunning day. But we do know that pretty soon the leaves are going to be coming off the trees, and we're going to be raking them up. And SEI has always organized a fantastic way to help our neighbors, folks who might have a hard time doing it themselves. Tell us what days will be the volunteer days this November.
Right. So our general volunteer day will be Saturday, November 15th, morning and afternoon shifts available. It's a great way for families, friends, and teams to get out and help the community. Our corporate volunteer day will be Friday, November 14th in the morning. Great way to get your company out and help out local seniors. In the event of rain, we have rain dates scheduled the following Friday, November 21st, and Saturday, November 22nd.
Fantastic. I know that I've always see lots of pictures of people smiling. So while it is, it's hard work to rake up leaves, it's something you're generally doing together with folks, and you're helping somebody out. So it tends to be a great day. I know that this is generally helping folks who are seniors in our community who might not be able to go out there and do their own raking. How can those seniors who might raise their hand to say, yes, I could really use help, sign up?
So if seniors want to sign up, well, right now, firstly, we're seeking around 20 to 30 seniors to sign up in total. And right now, they can sign up by calling the Woburn Senior Center at 781-897-5960.
Excellent. And where can volunteers who want to sign up, whether it's through their company or individually who might want to join in a helping hand?
Yes, volunteers could visit our website for information on how to sign up at socialcapitalinc.org/SCI-leaf-raking. And we are seeking 200 to 300 volunteers, depending on the number of seniors signed up.
That's great. That's going to make quick work of it, everybody working together. Now, tell us a little bit about what volunteers can expect the day of the cleanup.
Yeah, so on the day of, for the general leaf raking day for Saturday, November 15, we have 2 shifts available, as Jamari mentioned, both in the morning and in the afternoon. Those shifts are 3 hours just about, or until the job is done. But volunteers are welcome to sign up for both shifts and rake leaves all day. So the process of that is that volunteers will check in at the Woburn Senior Center that day to receive their housing assignment, as well as any tools or supplies such as rakes, gloves, leaf bags. And we'll also provide snacks for our volunteers. Then they would go to the seniors' home where they would then rake the leaves and bag them, and the bags are left on the curb of the home. For the corporate volunteer day, it's similar, but in advance, the corporate teams will receive their housing assignment before the day of. So they'll all just meet at the senior's home, where SCI will meet them at the senior's home with the tools and snacks as well.
Oh, you said magic words, snacks and helping people. That's kind of an awesome combination. Thank you all for joining. This is a wonderful way to give back to the community. We're so grateful to have students who are leading these efforts and SCI who are sponsoring and helping to organize it. Jamari and Rian and Nicole, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us, Samantha.
Thank you, guys.
Woburn, as always, there are so many ways that you can get engaged across the community. We hope you will continue to take good care of each other.